Decent, affordable, stable housing is a basic necessity for building life of opportunity and success, yet it's increasingly out of reach for too many Americans.
Let's remember that housing isn't just about ensuring a roof over one's head. It's the vital link between one's dignity and one's ability to participate and prosper in our society.
I think we all, once again, have the same goal in mind, which is sustainable housing, affordable and stable housing, if you will, for folks on the low-income spectrum. And the question is, how do we best use taxpayer dollars for that public good?
The fact that only 1 in 4 eligible Americans can get rental assistance is a fundamental problem in the growing unaffordability of housing that Congress has the power to fix.
I think it's really essential that there be expansion of the voucher program because it helps all involved. It helps the property owners, it helps the residents, and it helps the overall community.
We believe that stable, affordable housing can have dramatic impacts on quality of life, generational wealth, and health and wellness.
Homeownership is becoming an impossible goal for too many Americans. Housing prices rose almost 20% last year, and rent followed at a rate increase close to 14%. Mr. Chairman, I think we can agree that we need to find ways to make the housing market, and housing in particular, more affordable.
The solution to sky-high housing prices has to involve greater housing supply, specifically in markets where it is more constrained. The primary driver of high housing costs is strict local land use regulations. One of the best things you can do is to encourage those in your districts who are working to protect property rights and fair housing, and to draw attention to the barriers they face.
Last year, in 2021, the New York City Department of Homeless Services counted over 100,000 homeless individuals who slept in our shelter system. The reason why people are on the streets isn't just some elusive housing or market phenomenon. It's also because we've chosen not to build.
The city is not contemplating how working people are housed in the community. The federal government should really incentivize state and local jurisdictions to ease land use zoning restrictions that contribute to housing supply and the affordability issues which you mentioned.
The need for housing stability services is great, and a combination of local, state, and federal, private and public interventions are necessary to address the needs of our community.
For far too long, Black and Indigenous people and people of color have been denied access to certain neighborhoods and housing through redlining, deed covenants, and racialized zoning. Even after the 1968 Fair Housing Act banned discrimination in housing, the legacies of the past continue to put these communities at disadvantage.
Black homeownership, the primary asset of Black families, is at levels similar to when discrimination was legal. We've yet to move the needle on the persistent 30 percentage point advantage that whites have over Blacks in homeownership rates.
Our government has a historical responsibility to remedy these challenges because it helped to create them. Government-sponsored discrimination and segregation contributed to the wide disparities in housing quality, wealth creation, and neighborhood opportunity between Black and white households.
We can intentionally use race-conscious policies to right the race-conscious policies that didn't include all of us. As Americans, we have to think about our country's history so that we can chart a path forward. This discrimination is dragging down the economy for all of us. It's not just hurting people of color, it's hurting people in communities all over the country.
You made the point that this doesn't just hurt Black people, it hurts everybody. And part of Milwaukee is sort of the, epicenter of redlining. So what you're describing is literally, since practically the Mayflower almost, that we have deliberately put in place policies that create inequity in housing, FHA, veterans housing, all that. And so now you would like to use race-based solutions to reverse it.
Particularly in housing, it's undeniable that when you deny a certain population generations worth of access to the prime wealth-building mechanism, there will be echoes of that decision in the present.